Let's go out to Orlando, Florida, and talk to Lance in the pants. What's up, Lance?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What's up?
Not much. That's literally the first time I've heard Lance in the pants.
Oh, I had a buddy named Lance. I called him Lance in the pants for like 20 years. It literally just came out. Like, I think it's a part of my nervous system now. So, Lance in the pants. What's up?
I've heard it a million times, yeah. I guess I'll just start with kind of the question I gave you, and probably work backwards from there. Basically just wanting to know, like, when I should kind of throw in the towel with my marriage. It's just been, a lot of years of struggles and yelling and fighting and smashing things. So
you or her?
I'm just trying to, mostly me.
Okay.
At least when it comes to the breaking things.
That absolutely has nothing to do with your marriage. Zero.
No, I understand that. It's something I've been working on for a while.
Okay.
And that's kind of one of the problems. I feel like my marriage, my wife specifically, is a trigger for that. It's
bull crap, dude. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. She might know how to push your buttons, but every time you smash something, every time you yell, that's the choice you're making. Or if you can't make it in that moment, you've made the choice to create a world where y'all don't talk, you don't connect, you don't exercise, your body doesn't feel good, you're not sleeping, you don't have a job that you care to be at, where you feel like you got a purpose, and then all that crap comes home. All of those are choices along the way.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I take full responsibility for that.
Okay.
Like you said, she knows how to push my buttons, and I feel like she does it a lot. And I've spent probably the last 4 or 5 years telling her, I need connection. When we talk, I need you to stay calm and not get ramped up. And that part of it hasn't changed. So that's kind of where I'm at with, when do I say this isn't going to change and I need to move on?
The challenge here is, by the way, you quit your marriage whenever you want to quit. I don't think this is a marriage that is unsalvageable. I'll ask you a few questions in a minute, and you can just kind of cut to the chase for us all. But it's tough when you're somebody who reacts in what I'm gonna overuse a word, right? And so I'm gonna over dramatize this, but not really. When you react in a violent way, meaning screaming, using your body, you're bigger than she is my guess. Or maybe taller than her. You smash stuff. You get so angry, and then you feel shamed about it. You're like, I'm never gonna do that again. I'm gonna be cool. And then you come to her and say, hey, when I talk to you, I need you to be calm. I need you to be cool so that we can have these discussions. And her nervous system knows, no way in hell am I not going to be fully on guard, because who knows what that dude's going to do.
Right.
And then that sets her, she's completely on edge. You feel her being on edge. You start to get more and more frustrated. She feels it even more. And so what does she do? She hits you first to create some space, and then you go off. And hitting you first means she pushes your buttons.
Yeah.
And so the only way forward is there has to be a complete, this thing's got to, let me say this. The marriage you had is over. The choice you have is to rebuild one where you're both in on it. And you're going to have to do more than 4 years of quote unquote just working on it. You're going to have to do better than that, man. And she's going to have to decide, terrifyingly so, to put herself in a position to have something smashed over her again, to be screamed at. Y'all have little kids?
Yeah, we have 2 little kids, and that's my biggest concern, because this stuff has happened right in front of them.
Yeah, but man, you say in one sentence, like, I totally own this, but on the other side, you're like, yeah, this kind of stuff just keeps happening in front of them. It's you. You're happening in front of them. Well, I don't mean
it. Yeah, I don't mean it keeps it. It has happened, and I don't want it to happen anymore. It's
okay. So tell me what happens in those moments where you can't control yourself. Because she's not on the phone with me. Hey, and before we go, I'm harping on you. She's not on the phone, And dude, I know I've got people in my life that can just cut me to the quick. They know how to do that, right? People I've been in a relationship with for years and years and years and years and years, men and women. They can just say the thing that sends me over the edge. And I know that.
Well,
so I've got some choices.
I'll give you the most recent scenario because that's what kind of triggered me to call you.
Okay.
We were outside. We had a campfire out in our backyard. It was a great night, made s'mores and all that stuff. There was a few moments throughout the night where like one of our sons was rolling around on the ground and my wife was like, don't roll on the ground. There's dog poop or something like that. And I was like, just let him roll on the ground. It's okay. Let him be a kid. And then another one came up to us and asked for another s'more. And my wife was like, no. And I was like, just let him have one. It's, we're having fun. Just, let it go. So she was saying she was surprised by me being kind of loose about things, which I do tend to be very tight. When we're in everyday stuff, I like to keep a regular schedule. Keeping a schedule keeps me on track as well. So when the night was over, I was cleaning up stuff outside. She went inside with the kids and I could hear yelling from outside the house. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I came inside and my wife is like, I'm losing my cool. I need you to take over. I was like, fine, I'll take over. No problem. And then my little one is like, starts to turn the TV on. And I'm like, no, it's 10:30. We'll go read a book. We're not going to watch TV. She came back out and was like, why can't he watch TV? He's got to calm his brain. And I'm like, I don't want him to watch TV. It's 10:30. And then she like kind of threw in my face that, you've been so loose all night long and now this, and we went back and forth and it ended up with me getting angry and breaking a chair. But it's those kinds of things. It's like this battle between us with control, I think.
Well, let's reverse engineer this because it's deeper than control. We're going to go backwards. Never freaking break anything in your home again. Got it?
Agreed.
Cool. Are we done with that crap?
Yeah.
Because that's you acting like a 5-year-old. 5-year-olds smash stuff.
Yeah.
Adults do not. Are you done with that?
I am, yeah. I want to be.
No, bullcrap. Stop. Walk out the door. Go get a hotel. Don't smash stuff in your house. You're encoding that stuff in your kid's nervous system. Quit. You're terrifying your wife. Stop. And then going backwards.
Times where I've done the walking out the door, and I would say I got to leave. I'll be back, and then when I get back, I get guilted by my wife for leaving, and the kids were upset about me leaving, and I'm like, well, it's one or the other. Like,
yes,
either
you're exactly right.
From it.
It's one or the other. I know when I've exceeded my capacity to act like an adult, I'm going to step out for a minute. And for the first 2, 3, 5, 10 times, your kids are going to go, where'd daddy go? Is he coming back? And mom's going to act like irrational and be mad and yelling. But you're going to be practicing staying calm in a moment.
Yeah.
Right? The adult is running the house, not the child. So the description you described to me sounds like, dude, chill out. They're at a fire. He's rolling around in the yard. So what if he gets dog poo? That's how he's going to learn. What I heard is a woman who is constantly trying to please her husband, who's got a bunch of rules and schedules and regulations. And so here's what she's trying to do. A, trying to keep the peace, to trying to keep this crazed man calm. And B, in her own weird way, she's trying to love you the best you can. And then you switch it. And my guess is that goes against her nature. And so she feels like she's always having to be the mean parent. And then suddenly, in front of the kids, she's the super mean parent and you become the cool parent. And then there's another instance where there's a TV on at 10:30 at night with a little kid, which, by the way, that does not calm down any child's brain. It spins it up. But then suddenly she's like, well, I want to be the cool parent, which is that a childish response? Yes. Is that understandable? Of course. And here's the deeper problem. Y'all haven't had those talks before they happen. Y'all haven't had like, hey, how's our parenting approach going to be to screen time? how's our parenting approach going to be to X and Y and Z? Because my guess is you said keeping a schedule keeps you on track. I don't buy that. I think keeping a schedule keeps you in control. I bet your schedule is pretty rigorous, huh?
It's a little crazy, yeah.
Okay, so mine is too. But my wife gets up at a different time than me. And my wife actually gets up and writes for an hour and has a cup of coffee. And she has like a little, like a muffiny cookie thing, something I usually don't ever eat in the morning. We have very different morning routines. Why do you subject your family to yours?
I don't try to subject my family to mine. I'm up at 5 a.m. I go work out, and my wife isn't usually up until around 7:30, and she gets our kids ready for school. Then I take our younger one to school. And that part is all fine with me. The part of the problem I have with it is it's not consistent. So it's like there'll be times I come in at 7 o'clock and she slept through like 3 alarm clocks, and it's 20 after, and I'm having to wake her up and say, hey, I'm going to be late getting our son to school. I need you to get up. So a lot of it feels like parenting her sometimes. And I get frustrated with that. One thing I told her a couple months back when we were talking is I feel like I've been pushing our family up a hill for the last 10 years. And it's just, I'm getting worn out. Because I'm constantly trying to push to keep things moving forward.
You ever asked your wife what she wanted?
I mean, we sit down and we've had talks with, like, she'll tell me I need romance. I need, in romance to her is like little notes here and there, or bringing her flowers. And, I've done those things, not consistently to my, if I'm being honest, I'm not real consistent about it because, again, our schedule gets crazy and I just forget. But it should be, I've started in the last couple of months putting notes in my calendar to remind me, on Thursdays, pick up flowers or, stuff like that. So we sat down and had the talks about needs and, wants and stuff like that. I've told her many times I need connection from her, and connection for me is like long, deep conversations. And she's just like, well, I'm not smart about those things. I can't have those deep conversations with you. I'm like, I just want to talk. I want someone that I can talk and laugh and have fun with.
Are you somebody that every conversation ends up like in some, like a Huberman podcast? Or every conversation ends up in a Dr. Attia podcast?
I'm a lot like that. I'll admit it.
So here's what I'm telling you.
Thinker, so.
I almost burned out every friend I have over that crap. So 2 things. Number 1, I have a coach that I pay an exorbitant amount of money that I meet with on Friday mornings. And we meet for hours. We talk about the craziest scientific, theological, rabbit hole-y, social psychology stuff in the world. Because I have to have that. And when I worked at a university, every lunch was like some theory, some legal scholar talking about this with an anthropologist. I mean, that was my whole life for 20 years, and I miss that. But your wife is right. Every conversation like that feels like she's not enough for you. And you get frustrated, and she feels her lack of making you frustrated. And so you have to be a grown-up and say, okay, I need this, but this isn't the person for that. When I was at an MMA gym, I needed like that physical contact. Well, that's not my wife, right? She's not going to sit in the living room and fight me. So I had to go somewhere else. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
I want you to listen to your language. I've been pushing my family up a hill. My guess is your wife's tired of getting pushed. Yes, you have, like, I get you feel like you have to parent her. I also often, not all the time, sometimes people are just immature. I don't give a crap. They sleep in through their alarms. They're lazy. They just don't care. There's also people who have just flat given up because they can never do it right. And whenever they try to do it the way you want to do it, it just goes sideways. Or you change the rules, or you get mad, or you're doing this, or what about that? Is that ringing a bell?
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds more along the lines for sure.
So, do you want to end your marriage? And I don't have a stake in the. My marriage is fine. I don't have a stake in this. I'm just asking you point blank. Are you done with this marriage?
I don't want to be. No, I want to.
That's not the question I asked. I don't want to have eaten a bagel for breakfast this morning. I ate a bagel this morning. I never do that, and I know it's going to cost me. My blood sugar is going to fall off a cliff here in about 45 minutes. I'm asking you: is your marriage over?
I want to keep working on it.
Yeah, but you also don't want to smash chairs. Tell me, am I going to work on this, or am I not going to work on this?
No, I'm going to keep working on it.
Okay. The path forward I see for you is, and you're not going to like this. I feel like I've said this 3 or 4 times the last several shows, and I don't think I've ever said this before up until now, is that you find somebody to watch your kids, and you blow off your 5 a.m. workout for the next morning, and one night you take your wife out to dinner early, and you hold both of her hands across the table, or you send your kids to a babysitter somewhere else's house, and you do it at your house, and you take a knee in front of her, and you just say, hey, I'm sorry. I've been pushing you up a hill. I've been trying to create this thing in my head, and you and I could go down a rabbit hole. My guess is you're running from something. I don't know what you're trying to hold together so firmly, or what picture you're trying to solve for, but your attempt to make everything perfect in your home is destroying your home.
Yeah, you could probably make a career out of me. There's a lot going on.
Well, here's the thing. You're doing it right. And what I mean by that is, my guess is you went through hell growing up, and you have found a way to solve for that. And that is systems and control and strength and discipline and determination. Fair?
Yeah.
Cool. That works on a David Goggins podcast. It does. It works in his real life. Doesn't work in 99.9999999% of marriages. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you want to stay married and you want to keep your family together, tell your wife, I'm sorry. I acted like a child when I scream at you. I act like a child when I smash things. That will never, ever happen again. I've been trying to force a life on you. I never asked you what you wanted in this life, what you felt like. Here's an exercise I want you all to explore. How do you want your home to feel when you walk in from work every day? How does your wife want the house to feel when she opens her eyes up in the morning? Because my guess is that alarm goes off and her body says, don't get up. Don't get up. How do you want, do you want your kids to...
I've heard you say that before. And just to, like, after that fight, I did leave for a night. I went to a friend's house and stayed there. And when I came back, like I told her, there was just this feeling like there's like a 2-hour drive and an hour there. I just had this feeling like a heavy backpack was just taken off. Because that was the night I told her, or the day I told her I want a divorce. And like, I don't think I really meant that at the time, but I just didn't know what else to say to stop the fight we were having, the conversation we were having. And so I left for a friend's house, and I just felt this relief that I haven't felt in a long time. And
what do you know about feelings?
What do you mean by that?
Feelings are designed to keep you safe. They don't tell the truth.
Yeah.
There's probably a sense of relief that you didn't smash somebody this time. Because that day's coming, my friend. When you're going to be leaning over somebody you love. Because you think it's bad now. Your kids haven't started really coming after you. When they get in first, second, third, fourth, middle school, my fear is on your trajectory, you're standing over somebody you love and they're curled up in a fetal position with their face busted up. Because that's where you're headed.
Yeah, that's what I went through as a kid, and I don't want to
Exactly.
go through that.
So I need you to hear me say with all certainty, 100% certainty, the thing you are trying to achieve through radical discipline, through everybody doing everything right, through turning your family into a military unit, is actually starving your body from what your body needs. Because if you got the crap beat out of you as a kid, your body's still wondering as a 5-year-old, why are you hitting me? I'm a kid. And that's that ferocious rage that comes out when you find yourself smashing a chair after a pretty good night with your family. That's the That's the 5-year-old. That's the 5th grader still trying to defend you. The difference is your wife's not throwing punches like your old man did. And until you decide, and this word sucks, I hate it with all my heart, and it's the truth. Until you decide to open yourself up to actually let this woman hurt you, that's the only way she can actually connect with you. That's the only way you can save your marriage. It's called vulnerability. And that's beyond writing little notes. Her writing little notes is proxy. That's her begging, will you just think of me one time over your stupid calendar, please? Over your workout program, please? That's what she's asking.
Yeah.
Do I even enter your mind until you get home, or am I just an employee of yours that you think about when you walk in and you're looking to inspect my performance? And does this mean she's perfect? God, no. No way. But she's not on the phone.
The things I can do, yeah.
What you need to do is tell your wife you're sorry. And I would list very specifically how you've hurt her. And she's not made you do one damn thing, dude. She's never made you smash a chair. You did that. She's never once made you raise your voice. You chose that. And until you take full ownership of that, it's going to be this tit for tat thing. Now, you're bigger and louder than she is. You probably have made her parent a certain way. You've probably made her clean a certain way. Now, she could always leave, but that's different. So I'd be very specific, and then I would let her know, I have signed up. I'm going to see a counselor in my community to deal with my childhood abuse. The time of running and flexing is over. I'm going to deal with it. That's the only way you can save your marriage, my friend. That's it. That's it. I wish there was another way. That's it. And I think that relief you felt was an illusion that, the responsibilities are gone. That's very, very temporary. But I also think that relief was your body saying, ooh, thank God, because we were holding back from doing something really bad. And I'm telling you right now, you need to go seek professional help to deal with that inner rage. And for especially men and women, yes, but especially little boys who are physically abused from some tough guy dad or that tough guy mom for that instance, that shame will haunt you and your family forever until you say, I'm done. And I'm done isn't just flexing through every hard conversation and trying not to hit a hole through the sheetrock. I'm done is sitting with a counselor and saying, I'm letting this crap go. I'm not letting that abuse run my life anymore. I love you, man. Call me anytime, and I'll be honest with you. I'll shoot it to you straight. I actually think your marriage can be saved, and not only saved, I think it can grow into something pretty amazing. The thing that your body has been desperately screaming and searching and running for all these years. But you're gonna have to start over from square zero, from step 0. And your wife's going to have to be all in too. That means both of you are going to have to be very vulnerable. And that's going to be scary for a while.